Wow. Um, Diving into all this information about Randy Travis,
Yeah.
just what a what a moment, you know?
Yeah.
It's huge for country music.
Yeah.
A real testament to resilience and innovation.
Absolutely.
And for anyone out there just looking to understand the big developments in any field,
Right.
this story is it, you know?
Yeah.
This is it.
This is the one to watch.
This is the one to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
We're seeing a true icon reemerge and through some pretty remarkable means, I have to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at everything that you've gathered here.
Yeah.
This is not just, kind of a rehashing of the past.
Right.
It's a real resurgence fueled by some really big events and some incredibly forward-thinking strategies.
Yeah.
And I think our mission here is to really understand what makes this comeback so significant.
Yeah.
And look at the unique approaches that are making it a reality.
Okay. Okay, let's unpack this. And where else could we possibly begin? But
Yeah.
the Grand Ole Opry, the centennial celebration,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a huge occasion in itself.
100 years.
And within that, this deeply moving tribute to Randy Travis by Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a performance.
Right.
Considering that Randy inducted Carrie into the Opry 17 years before that,
Right.
it felt like a real acknowledgement of his lasting influence.
Absolutely. And that historical connection, it adds just so much depth to that moment.
Yeah.
And her song choices too,
Yeah.
3 wooden crosses, forever and ever, amen.
Right.
I mean, those are cornerstones of his work.
Right.
And what's so fascinating is that this, emotional tribute at such a, important event really highlights just the enduring place he holds,
Yeah.
in the hearts of country music fans.
And then that moment, she hands him the microphone to finish forever and ever, amen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you can feel the emotion in the room.
I know.
The standing ovation, the crowd response. It was huge, and especially given the challenges he's faced. It's a real illustration of that deep connection he still has
Right.
with his audience and his peers.
Right. It is. And that powerful, display of his enduring impact, I think it really sets the stage for the remarkable way that technology is allowing him to, continue to share his voice now.
Yeah.
It's a reminder of what was almost lost, and that makes the developments that come after this all the more, extraordinary.
Right. Right. Because here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
This groundbreaking application of AI.
Yeah.
We all remember the devastating stroke in 2013.
Right.
The challenges he faced with aphasia.
Yeah.
And for those who might not know, aphasia is a communication disorder that really impairs the ability to speak and understand
It
language.
makes it very, very difficult.
For a vocalist of his stature, this was a huge hurdle.
Yes.
And the fact that AI is now part of his return to music is just, it's astounding.
Yeah. It is. It's incredible. And I think it's helpful to think of it like this. The AI analyzes thousands of hours of Randy's recordings.
Yeah.
And it identifies, the nuances of his tone, his phrasing, even his breath control.
Right.
And then it uses this, this sonic fingerprint to shape the performance of James Dupre on a new track.
Wow.
Ensuring, that it carries that unmistakable Randy Travis sound.
Okay.
And this is this intersection of technology and artistry.
Yeah.
It's not just replicating a voice.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
potentially, offering new avenues for artists who've had their careers interrupted
Right. Yeah.
by, physical limitations. So
Right.
it's challenges our traditional notions of what artistic creation and collaboration can look like.
And they haven't stopped at just one song.
No, they haven't.
So we have Where That Came From, his first post-stroke single,
Right.
and then Horses in Heaven came out, relatively quickly after that.
Right.
It shows a commitment to bringing his voice, in this new form back to the forefront.
Exactly. And with Horses in Heaven, the dedication to the victims of that recent tragic plane crash,
Right.
it adds this other layer of meaning.
Yeah.
It shows how his music is still a source of comfort,
Right.
and connection during tough times.
Right.
So it brings up this really interesting point about the role of music in healing and remembrance.
So what does this mean when we look beyond the individual song releases?
Right.
Because he's also embarking on the More Life tour.
Yes. Yes, he is.
And that's a pretty powerful statement in itself.
It is, yeah. And the fact that he's doing it with his original band and featuring James Dupree as a guest vocalist, it's a really thoughtful and respectful approach. It's not just about revisiting the past. It's about celebrating the enduring spirit of Randy Travis and his music, in a live setting and offering fans a chance to reconnect with these songs.
It's definitely more than just a nostalgia act.
It is.
It really speaks volumes about his resilience. And speaking of his incredible journey, there's the upcoming biopic, Forever and Ever, Amen.
Yes.
That title alone carries so much weight.
It does, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
It really does.
Naming it after his signature song and his memoir, it makes me think that it's going to be a really comprehensive look at his life and his career, not just a surface level thing.
Right. And they've said that they want to capture both the highs and the lows, which indicates a real honesty. And the casting of Clay Walker, another country artist to portray him, I think is a really deliberate choice that could bring a really unique layer of understanding to the role. What makes this biopic so interesting, is that it's not just about the fame. It's about, the fragility and the eventual triumph. So we get a much more complete picture.
And with Andrew Hyatt both writing and directing, it seems like a unified vision for the film.
So it sounds like they really want to deliver an authentic depiction, one that doesn't shy away from the struggles, but ultimately emphasizes, his triumphs and his journey of redemption.
It's not just about the events, it's about the human aspects of his story.
That's it.
And when we consider everything about his stroke, it's impossible to not see the sheer determination that he's shown.
Absolutely,
in fighting to come back from that.
It's incredible.
The information highlights, that he relies on a wheelchair for longer distances. And needs some help with communication. But his passion for music is still there.
It is.
And the support of his wife, Mary, has been so important.
Oh, absolutely vital. Mary's role in his recovery and his career going forward can't be overstated.
And when you put all of this together, the Opry tribute, the AI music, the tour, the biopic, it's a story of resilience.
It is.
He's not just coming back. He's shaping his future in music. In the face of, serious adversity.
Exactly.
He's transformed these challenges into a new way to be creative.
Absolutely.
And made sure that his voice and his legacy continue.
Yes.
So just to kind of bring it all together. We've seen this incredible sequence of events. This moving tribute at the Opry. The use of AI to bring back his voice.
It's groundbreaking.
The return to the stage with the More Life tour. And this upcoming biopic that's going to share his whole journey.
His full life,
And the theme that ties it all together is resilience.
Absolutely.
It really is.
And it's a testament to the power of music. Its ability to heal, to inspire, and to push an artist forward, even against incredible odds.
It is.
I hope this deep dive has given you some real aha moments, shown how these seemingly separate events, are all connected to create this amazing comeback story.
It really does make you think.
Yeah.
You consider Randy Travis's journey and the use of AI.
It's pretty remarkable.
It makes you wonder about what the future of artistic expression is going to look like.
It does.
How is technology going to allow artists to overcome challenges and keep sharing their gifts with the world in ways that maybe we haven't even thought of yet?
It's a great question.
Something to think about.
It is a lot to consider there. It's exciting.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.